My name is Oscar Gonzalez. I'm going to talk about professional boxing and the not so glamorous side to the sport. A lot of people are not aware of how dangerous this sport is. Most people know about the cuts and bruises and broken noses and ribs that these boxers can receive, but a lot of people do not think about the brain injuries. Brain injuries, like concussions, can cause long term effects in the boxer's health. It can also kill them. Uh, a lot of people do not realize that quite a few boxers actually die every year from injuries that occurred in the ring. According to Matthew Brennan, a report in the journal Neuroscience estimated that since the year 1900, on average, 10 boxers have died from injuries that occurred in the ring every year. That's quite a few deaths just to brush under the rug that occurred in one sport. Um, for this to continue would be insane. A lot of people just do not realize that this happens. The media just does not stress this. They turn it into just such a glamorous sport, and they talk about how much money the fighters made, which is, all and well, but a lot of times these guys are suffering, and nobody really knows. Um, a lot of these concussions and other brain injuries have been known to cause dementia, depression, Alzheimer's later on in life, even Parkinson's disease, which the great Muhammad Ali actually suffers from. He boxed for quite a while, had a lot of brain injuries. It is not a proven fact that is what caused his disease, but it certainly did not help. I have an illustration right here that shows what a concussion kind of looks like. Basically, it is when the brain bounces back and forth in the skull, which causes the concussion, which can be minor or it can be deadly. And concussions happen in almost every professional boxing match. Just a lot of people are not aware of it. Uh, Besides injuries and death, a lot of people do not realize that most professional boxers are not rich. Most boxers actually end up making what a average person's full-time salary ends up being, um, except their job is usually a lot more dangerous when you're risking injury or death every time you go out into the ring. Um, Most of these fighters are not millionaires. A lot of people think just because the media portrays them as these glamorous millionaires that they're all that way, and it's very small percentage of them actually are. It's said about 1% of the professional boxers control about 99% of the money generated in the sport, which is probably not 100% accurate, but it's very close. There are very few actual millionaires that even stay millionaires in the sport. A lot of them end up bankrupt. Um, which brings me to my next point. There are not a lot of boxers that have the support that people think. Um, a lot of the professional leagues like the NFL, NBA, MLB, for example, uh, they take care of their athletes that are part of their organization. Professional boxers do not have that. They have to have their own insurance and basically pray for the best and hope they have a long enough career to take care of themselves and their families. Uh, most boxers are taken advantage of by professional boxing promoters and managers. Mike Tyson actually uh, has expressed his feelings towards his boxing promoter Don King, how he took advantage of him um, back when Mike Tyson was boxing. Um, Besides, the fighters trying to take care of themselves. They got healthcare issues. A lot of boxers want to get taken care of. because they know they're going to get injured. Well, there's an article where Thomas Hauser, the lead writer for SecondSout.com, says that the medical plan provides for the partial payment of medical expenses incurred in conjunction with illness, accidents, and other medical conditions, but it will not cover conditions related to boxing. He goes on to say that's like a healthcare plan for members of the military that doesn't cover combat-related injuries. It really does not make any sense. And it's just crazy to think that this day and age, that's the way it is. I would expect that back at the beginning of the 20th century maybe, but not here in the 21st century. I just don't see how that really makes sense. But, just to recap, boxers are people just like everybody else. They can easily be hurt and easily be manipulated, and are every day. A lot of these injuries are long term, and some of them even lead to death. So it is up to the boxers and the families or the fans that actually care to present these problems to the boxing commissioners and try to put a stop to this.